go over some of the most common questions I've been getting about Ravendawn Online. Just for TLDR, I never played Tibia, so this whole engine it's on is different. To me, I've never played any Tibia game, so there's a lot of nuances to it that are kind of weird if you've never played before. But if you played Tibia, a lot of the stuff I guess is like, you're like, oh, that's in Tibia. Most common questions I get when starting this game. Can you change the bindings? Yes, you can right click your hotbar and edit hotkey. Beyond that though, you cannot change your bindings. Apparently they're doing a patch to fix that. Hopefully soon, because you can't rebind their other things like, you know, X for character, stuff like that. Adjust your UI. Yes. Escape, settings, go into your windows, edit UI, and you can move everything. Dog that popped up, do what he tells you to do. He's a tutorial dog, and sometimes the UI elements will get stuck with him and it just makes stuff weird. Just click through his stuff and listen to him. He explains a lot of things. He's actually pretty useful. While you're leveling up, you're going to get a MOA, which is basically a chocobo. It will run out of stamina and you'll need to get food. It's a very common question. Down here under Ravencrest, this vendor, he sells MOA food for 1,000 a pop. It's also way cheaper if you buy it off the auction house from other players or make it yourself. When you get your MOA, they can roll stats. I don't know what the ranges are, but like you can roll like a better MOA. You can also breed these, I believe. But you'll get food that'll increase the bond level with your pet. And as your bond level increases, you get buffs. They move quicker, their abilities get changed, a whole slew of things. So, and you also can get equipment, right? Oh wait, mine's a T2. Anyway, you can see your stats and then you level it up by bond, by feeding it the bond stuff and whatever. But if it's at 0 stamina, like you don't have to sweat it too much. I think you can just ride it around at 0 stamina and it's fine. But if you want to feed it to get the stamina up so it increases the bond level, then you buy it down here or grow it or buy it from someone else. How to plant your potatoes. You're going to have a quest over in your little local farm area. Let's mosey on over there. When you're in your little instanced farm, they give you a quest to plant potatoes. And the dog tells you how to do this. But no one listens to the dog. Do they? Otto. They don't. If you want to get into build mode over here to plant your potatoes, you have to go over your mini map and do toggle house mode. And then this is where it's going to bring you to the menu to plant your potatoes. Simply click, you know, figure out where you want to put it, slam it down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Can I change my archetype? Your archetype is the mixture of your 3 classes. The answer is yes. Once you're level 15, you have your 3rd archetype. All you got to do is, or 3rd class, all you have to do is click another one you want to try instead. Say confirm. Yeah, I want to try this one. And then click on the one you want to swap out. All right. Which is going to lead into my next tip. When you're leveling up your build in this game, you're going to reach certain points where you actually want to change your build. Not because you're going to stick with a different build or anything like that, but because you need to level multiple classes in this game. Why do I need to level multiple classes, Jonah? Well, let me explain it to you. If you press X and you go to stats, you're going to see here, when you hover over the eye, that your archetypes, whether they are active or inactive, give you benefits. So every 4 points, your inactive archetypes give you, like, for their levels, right? So as you level up these other archetypes, they're going to give you extra attribute points and extra skill points. So a lot of the grind in this game is your stats and skills. So it's very important. Probably around like level 20, 21, go back to some of the previous zones, because what's going to happen is when you pick these new archetypes, they're going to be at lower levels, right? So it basically takes the average. So this is one of my main schools, wizardry at 22. We have protection at 9, warfare at 14. That makes the arc level 15. So you want to fight mobs around that level or a little bit lower than that. So what you're going to do is you're going to lean on your tree that you actually have leveled to do most of the damage, and you're going to raise these two up. You're going to raise these two trees up. And you might want to swap your build later, right? So it's not bad to have these leveled. But the more you level these trees in general, the more skill points you have, the more attributes you have. Pretty straightforward. Can you change your character look? The cosmetics in the game, in my opinion, are kind of annoying in their current state. But the way it works, if you press X and you go to customization, you can change the color of your hair, your outfit, the trim, you know. But then you can also change your overall outfit, right? This is based on your weapon. So based on the weapon you're holding, right? I'm holding a staff. It's going to dictate the types of outfits you have. And then beyond that, what you can do is like, okay, so I have the witchcraft body. The witchcraft body is going to dictate the heads you have available and the weapons you have available. So you can get different headpieces and different weapons for the witchcraft body. And then you can do the same for wizard. I could swap over here and I could get different. See, you get like the wizard hat, stuff like that, right? How do you get these cosmetics? There's going to be a lot of NPCs in the world, and they're going to be like, oh, you know, if you bring me 500 of this wolf sack, I can string it up and make you a fancy top hat. And you're like, okay. So these NPCs will give you these basically fetch missions, right, for these cosmetic items. And while you're farming random mobs, you're going to see them just drop. It's going to say a cosmetic material, right? So if you want, you're like, okay, I want this cosmetic, right? For this bright robes, I want this. It's going to give you a circle of the NPC in this, like basically you have to find the NPC in this area. It'll give you a quest to get that cosmetic. Okay. And this symbol down here means that even if you find it in game and you grind it out, you're going to also need to have a subscription to the game to equip it. Okay. And can you respec your build? Yep. Not only can you respec and change your archetype, you can just respec the skill points in the respective tree. How do I get mount, boat, and or house? Literally just follow the main story quest. They bring you into the mount, then they bring you into the boat, and then at level 25, which I'm not there yet, they're going to bring you in to the land deed, the starter land deed. So literally just follow the quest line. How do you get Ravencards? What are they used for? Ravencards are a pack system that basically morphs your skills in the game. As you can see, we have a boatload of them, 107. They come in different rarities and different things in the game. Breaking down gear, farming, you will acquire Dawn Essence. Also, they just give it to us. See, like I just got some while I was out farming, so this is a good time to show you. So Dawn Essence can't be bought. It's not a pay-to-win thing. Calm down. No worries. All right. But you can grind this Dawn Essence in game by crafting, breaking down mats or weapons and stuff, or just finding it. And then, so right here, doesn't get his drops on Twitch. Right here, confirm, buy a pack, boom, easy peasy. Go down here to our Ravencards or G, go to the pack slot, open new pack. Okay. So I got a new card, which is great. So what these cards do is every ability in your tree has 2 card options that can morph it. Some of them, as you can see right here, literally completely change a spell. This one says Healing Channel can now be cast while moving. Slows your movement by 40%. So this takes a stationary channel ability and gives it movement, right? And the way you would apply these cards is by going over here, swapping to card, and then clicking the ability. And if you had them unlocked, you could see the options. Like right here, I'll click this. We see we have the card. We just slot it. It changes the ability. Very, very straightforward. Now the rarity, obviously more difficult to get better rarity on the cards. That's going to be a long-term grind. But as you get duplicates on the packs of cards you already have, you get Raven shards. And then what you can do when you have Raven shards is you can go to the card and you can upgrade it for a cost. So once you find an ability you really like for your build and you want to upgrade it, you're going to grind these shards out and upgrade the card slowly, most likely. That's slowly. Reputation. As far as I know, I've heard mixed things, okay, on this one. I've heard there's a cap on reputation. I've heard that you can grind it out infinitely. I don't know. But what I do know is that these are permanent. So really look at these bonuses and decide what you want to do. I don't know if you can max all of them. We'll see as I get further in the game. I don't really know whether there's a cap or not. You cannot reset them. Reputation is unresettable, permanent choices. If you want to infuse gear, press U to go to the infusion screen, right? I'll give you an example of what it looks like. Put the item in here. As you farm, you're going to pick up infusion tokens, right? If you don't want to put this exact amount in, by the way, you can split this in your regular inventory over here by just dragging it, and then you can change the amount, right? So that's how you can choose the amount. You can't split over here for whatever reason, but we'll just do a little bit. But basically, this is how you increase the stats on your gear, bring it up to snuff. Don't worry about infusing your T1. Just infuse your T1 as much as you want. Obviously, it costs a decent chunk of silver, so be careful. This is going to annihilate your silver stocks. But once you want to upgrade to T2 gear, what you're going to do is you're either going to buy the T2 gear, you're going to craft it. To craft T2, you need to craft T1. Do not craft the T2 with your T1 that you've infused because it's going to waste the infusion. Okay? What you would want to do is either get the T2, craft it with other separate T1 mats, right? And then you're going to infuse this stuff, which, by the way, you can just slot other infusion and it'll transfer the infusion, right? So you don't lose the infusion. It's just an overall upgrade and you transfer it to whenever you upgrade your gear. TLDR. I have a lot of junk in my backpack. Where do I go to get rid of it? There's going to be collector NPCs that you can go to in Ravencrest. One is right over here. Yeah, you don't have to double pay on the silver. Right here, talk to him. I want to see your shop. Pretty much anything he can buy is garbage. So just spam sell. It's not for anything else but vendoring to him. So just get rid of it. Where do you get Dawn Essence? I've seen it from crafting and mob drops, and then also from just them giving it to us. Is there ever a reason to go further into a cave system like rare mobs or treasure? I will say the game world doesn't have a lot to interact with. I want to say the first 15 levels, the only things I interacted with were quest items. But as I got further into the game, I did find lootables. You're going to notice lootables. They're going to have a slight sparkle on them. I found like a tree stump that had a sparkle, and I got things to upgrade my house. And I think I might have got Dawn Essence out of it. So there are treasures and things to get in the game, but there's going to be a lot of duds that don't look like they have anything. So you might get numb to looking at nothing, but they do exist. I've looted like 3 things out in the world. A tree stump, a chest, and like a pile of leaves or something. And it all had loot in it. Expand the inventory. Yes, you can expand the inventory in your actual inventory, and you can do the same for your bank. It's a silver cost that ramps up. Do you need tools to gather? I haven't yet. Do you need tools for T2 stuff? How do you add more action bars? Go to your settings. Go to Windows, ability bars. Things I would also do in here while you're in the settings, probably. I would adjust the UI scale under graphics to what you want. Turn off anti-aliasing. In my opinion, that's your choice, but it looks better without it. Get rid of screen shake. That's stupid. You can adjust your life and mana bar sizes. You can adjust how much chat bubbles fade. I put it on slow and it still fades really quick. And then the important one is in miscellaneous. Change targeting detect range to 10 tiles. This is going to allow your target bars over here to pop up quicker. No reason not to have that. What is a trade pack and what do you use them for? If you're from ArcAge, that's what it is. If you're not from ArcAge, I'm going to explain it anyway. If you go to the, we'll just go to the Ravencrest trade post over here, this guy. So you're going to go up to him. I want to craft a trade pack, right? These are the different trade packs that are available. Now, when you're doing these trade packs, these are, a lot of the stuff is made on your house or in your farm. Some of it, I think you can get off mobs, you know, or from gathering, but I think, yeah, there's some gathering like campfires and stuff like that, but most of it's going to be stuff you generate on your plot of land. Once you get the mats together, you're going to go to the dude you want to make the trade pack at, craft it, and then you have a backpack icon will pop up on you, and then you need to bring that somewhere to get a profit. Well, where should I go to bring a profit, right? You don't know. Press T to open up the trade pack window, and depending on the trade pack, this is the one I did recently. You open up with the arrow and you can see all the locations for turn-ins and what their profit margins are. These percentages go down the more people turn in that pack at that location. So the more people are spamming that pack, the lower the value gets, the less profit it gets. So ideally you want to make packs that other people aren't making, and you want to bring them to places that other people aren't bringing them for the most profit. Be careful though, because when you have a trade pack on you, people can flag up and kill you and take the trade pack, and they're super valuable. So you want to take routes that are safe. You don't want to tell people you're doing it, and you probably want to do it with the protection of friends or in numbers, right? And when you get further into the game, you're going to have wagons that can handle more trade packs, and your boats can get upgraded to handle more trade packs as well, and you can bring them overseas and make money that way. Now, when you're leveling up, you're actually going to get in your quest thing here, you're going to get a trade pack certificate, I believe is a drop from something. I ended up with 2 of them. They might just be rare drops. I'm not sure. But make sure you check your quest icons in here for a trade pack certificate, because what that means is you can go to a trade pack merchant and you can make the trade pack for free. You don't have to bring any mats, nothing. I ended up with 2 of them. I made both. I put one on my bag. I went over to the warehouse guy here. I dropped the trade pack into the warehouse, right? I don't have one on me, so I can't show you. Then I crafted the other one. I got on my boat and he basically just auto loaded it into my boat. And then I brought it to another harbor and I made like 36,000 silver. Really good money where you need to go. But certificates can be used on any of the packs. So I think I did Baker's Basic, right? And you can see the reward value. And the reward value is based on how many people are turning in these packs at those locations. So I looked at Orca Bay. I actually looked at Dars, but you couldn't bring your ship here. So I was like, because it was cut off. So I brought it for 118% when I did it to Orca, which is like a really short trip. So I had my boat, which you get from the quest, and you basically craft a trade pack. I put it on the warehouse merchant. I craft another trade pack. So I'm carrying one on the warehouse merchant. I got in my boat. The warehouse merchant auto loads the trade pack in my boat. And so then I have 2 trade packs on me. And then I just brought it over here to Orca Bay and turned it in for 36,000 silver. So if anyone needs money, I'm pretty sure with trade packs, regardless of what channel you're on, people can flag up and take those from you. I don't think you can just run trade packs in safety on non-PvP channels. How do you flag up? If you want to flag up for PvP on the map up here, you have a PvP mode thing. You either want to be in offensive mode if you're trying to PK people, or you want to be in defensive mode. If for whatever reason you're in peaceful mode, people can attack you and you literally can't defend yourself. So I recommend having it on offensive or defensive, Nothing else, right? Why do I see Ravencraft 60-minute timer keep popping up? Oh, okay. What are the zones that are going on, right? I've been playing and I haven't really seen this have an effect. Just, can I be real? These zones apparently get pushed to war, right? And when these zones get pushed to war, the mobs give more experience and more silver, and people can attack you in these zones. I'll be real, I haven't seen a single person attack me in these contested zones. Maybe they're just not really going contested outside of the newbie zones. I have no idea, but I don't think anyone's fighting in these conflict zones. How can I support you if I buy the game? You can just use my code Jonah at checkout when you not checkout, but when you make the account. Is it even worth it to PvP right now? Unless they have a trade pack? No. No, you're just wasting your time when you should be grinding. Where do we break down items? There is a girl by the fountain over in Ravencrest by the bank area. Serena, I think. Trade pack is for lugging around and making money. There's a chick by the fountain. I'm clearly lost, but hey, doing the quests, you're going to get brought to the Rangers Guild. It's a pretty important part of the game. As you can see, I'm not doing enough of it because I've been trying to do other stuff, but basically the way the Rangers Guild works is they're going to have a mission board. You want to do one whenever you can, because after you do it, it goes on an hour or 2 hour cooldown, I believe. So you want to do these whenever you can. The main reason you want to do these is you get bounty marks, which you can trade into the vendor for really, really good equipment. Really good equipment. So you want to be grinding this currency because the stuff from ranking up your Rangers company and the loot is it's a really big deal. I remember looking at it. The other thing you get is, like, say you get a quest to kill amphibians like I did, right? You get these buffs: spell power, weapon power, spell defense, weapon defense, precision, loot chance, all this stuff, right? And basically, if I do a kill quest for the amphibians, I get a RNG chance to land on one of these things. And that means that whenever I'm fighting amphibians, I either have more spell power, more weapon power, spell defense, weapon defense, more accuracy, or better loot drop rate. So what you're ideally going to do is you're going to be farming a specific type of mob as much as you can, and they're going to try to juice up probably your loot rate and your damage on it so you can, like, super farm. It's like the Slayer system from RuneScape, I believe. These are permanent buffs as far as I know. These are permanent buffs. But yeah, really important. Make sure you're doing these. Make sure you're doing these. Are your 3 archetypes the ones considered the active ones? Yeah, whatever you have selected, those are the active. Doesn't, like, the skill points in them doesn't matter. Is this game pay to win? By some people's definition, probably, but of a level that I don't really care about, right? Games are a business and they need to make money. The game's free to play. You can log in. You're not locked out of any content by being free to play. But don't get it twisted. Like, if you really want to play the game and you want to, you know, grind and keep up with other people, you're going to have to sub. That's just the reality of it. The patron is pretty cheap. It's like $8 a month. I think it's more than worth that, but that's something you need to figure out. Under services, you can pay for a name change, a sex change. You can get a mobile potion vendor NPC or a mobile bank marketplace NPC. These are the two we can argue a little bit, but this is just BDO's convenience system if you're used to that. So this is pretty hefty on the cost. These are the big spender items, but again, it's just convenience. Now, the patron benefits are kind of a big deal, so we should go over them. The effort for your land regenerates. This is basically like, the more you do stuff in the game, the more energy or effort you generate to do things on your plot of land that you have. This makes that go quicker. Bonus rewards for doing North Star quests. I believe those are ones related to your house. Waypoints are now free, so you can fast travel without paying silver. You get reduced marketplace tax, and your listings last longer. The Ranger thing we just talked about, you get a shorter cooldown on it. Instead of 4 hours, it's 2. So my bad, I misspoke on that. You need the subscription for it to be 2 hours. You get rested experience. You gather way quicker with it. You get priority in the login queue and some other stuff, the cosmetics and stuff. So like basically it's like all the other free-to-play games that have an optional sub. Yeah, you can play the game without the sub. You can do that. But you're going to be severely gimped in the fact that you're going to be doing everything at a slower rate and you're just going to be further behind the people that are paying. Gathering only counts for your personal land gathering, by the way, not open world. Oh, rapid gathering. Increase gathering speed on own land in community land. Okay, so this is just gathering speed on your own property. That's not as bad, to be honest. How many skill points do you need in Archetype to get skills and passives? It depends. I think passives are 3, no matter what. I think every passive is 3. If you hover over the skills, you can see the point cost for that respective ability. It kind of ramps up down the tree. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 6, and then each passive is 3. Hopefully they update that a bit. I didn't like targeting friendlies for heals. Basically, when you're in a party, you have a bar up here, and like targeting this is probably the best way to heal. Like you can right click to select, right? And then you can like right click the bar. But I'm pretty much tabbing to select enemies and then right clicking the bar. Maybe once we get binds, it's better. I don't know.